So I make videos about running and I also make videos about tech. Now today I'm going to be making a video about running tech. Yeah, I think probably for the first time I'm actually making a video that might appeal to everyone who watches this channel. Yeah, better make the most of it. Let's get cracking. Now it's quite difficult to make a tech video interesting and visually appealing so that you stick around right to the end. So on this video I'm going to be running through what I use. I'm also going to be taking some of it out on the road. Yes, I'm going to be pounding the pavements and showing you some of the tech in action. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Now the important thing that I must say up front is that this is in no way a review because I can't possibly go out and buy every gadget that's out there. So I'm going to be looking specifically at the things that I use when I go out for a run. So over here we have my three main items, my three main gadgetry items. On the left hand side we have an Apple Watch. This is a Series 4 Apple Watch, so this is the one that doesn't have the always on display. The Series 5 does, so if I tap that then you see the screen comes on. Next to it we have an iPhone. This is an iPhone 11 Pro Max, so it's a blooming great big one. And then on the right hand side here I have a little container, and inside it's a charging case. Inside are a pair of Apple AirPods. Now, as I've already mentioned, the Android ecosystem, you might have, say for example, Android Wear instead of an Apple Watch, an Android phone instead of the iPhone, and there's plenty of wireless earbuds around on the Android side as well, so plenty of choices there for you. When I go out for my run, I can choose a combination of the above. So what I tend to do is I always take the Apple AirPods with me. They always go. But I can sync these either to my phone or to my watch. So if I don't want to take my phone with me, I can actually go out for a run just with my watch and my Apple AirPods, and I can stream things through the intertubes on this, such as music and podcasts. And also, of course, this will still track GPS, and I can track all the runs, as we'll see in a moment. So this does everything that I need when I'm on a run. Even in an emergency, I will even be able to use the Apple Watch to make a phone call. Yeah, that's really Star Trek, isn't it? I can actually, yeah, all like that. You'll look like a complete berk, but if you've just fallen over and you can't get home, hey, you're not really going to care, let's be honest. So that works quite well. If I'm going to do some vlogging, then I will take my phone with me. Now, of course, I don't have to have the watch. I can just take the phone and the AirPods with me, and they will link, and it will do everything that the watch would do apart from heart rate tracking, which the watch will do. So when I go out for a run, I'm going to scroll down here to the workout app. Now this is built into the Apple Watch, and you'll see on here we have various different types of workouts. So there is a walk, there's a run, there's also a cycle. You've even got an indoor walk. I've never used that before. Indoor run, get on. Let's see what else we've got. Indoor cycle, elliptical, goodness, look at here, rower. There's all sorts of different things here that you can use. I've never even seen some of these. A pool swim, cool. Open water swim, yeah, won't be doing, oh, you can add your own. How cool is that? Now, if I scroll all the way down here, you will see that it has on it outdoor run, and that's in blue underneath. And that's because that was the last distance that I set myself. Because if I click on, you see at the top there, it's got a little ellipsis there. If I tap on that, it then gives me the different options that I can set for a run. So you've got an open goal, so you just literally go out and run. You can actually set the number of calories you want to burn, the time that you want to go for, or the distance. So I tend to use the open or the distance. So if I tap on distance, it will remember the distance that I last went. So you can see my longest distance at the time of recording this, 13.01 kilometers, but it remembers last time I went 10.02. The 0.02 is because that's just, I got to 10 and then it took me a moment to stop, because it carries on going. The tracking will carry on tracking your run until you actually choose to stop it. So if you set a distance, in this case 10K, it will carry on if you decide to go beyond it, such as, for example, when I did the 11K recently. So let's have a look on here again. Now, and setting this is quite easy. If I hold plus, and then if I hold it down, it will start going really quickly, and minus there, it'll speed up. So it's actually really easy. You can fine tune it just with simple little presses. And then once I'm ready to go, I literally hit start, it'll give me a countdown, and then off we go. So if I go back, you can see all the other different bits and pieces there. You can also set pace alerts, which I've got as off at the moment, but you can have on here an average or rolling pace alerts on there. So if you want to set a particular pace, if you want to keep, if you're trying to do 5K in 30 minutes or whatever it may be, of 10K in an hour, whatever, you can set alerts on there so that it will keep you informed of what you're doing, or perhaps more importantly, what you're not doing. So I'm out for a run, just on my warm up now. So I'll show you what I do with the watch when I'm going to trigger it to go out for my run and say that I've started. So here's my watch, and at the moment I'm on my warm up. Now incidentally, this is a clever thing. If I forgot to push the button and say that I had started my walk, it will detect that I am doing some exercise, and it will prompt me after a little while to say, do you want to start a walk activity? And not only will it then prompt me, but it'll also record the walk from when I started it, not from just the moment that I pushed the button. It's very clever, that. Now, what I'm going to do here, this is my start of my walk. I'm going to, actually, this is a bit difficult to film with one hand, but I'm going to swipe this across. So I've swiped that, you didn't see that, but I swiped from left to right, and that gives me some options to, for example, to pause what I'm on, and I'm actually going to press the end button. So now what I'm going to do is to scroll down the screen and to select, oh, not outdoor cycle, I'm going to select outdoor run. And I could just hit the button and then it would go with whatever I did last time being a 10 kilometer run. But I'm actually going to change it, because this for me is a midweek run. So I'm going to push the button. I've pushed the little ellipsis to the top right, and now again, as I say, this is quite difficult doing it one-handed. I've just tapped the distance as you saw earlier on, and I'm now going to change this. So I've pressed the buttons, the plus and the minus buttons on there, to go down to 5K, because this is a midweek run, and for me, I go out for a 5K run. And then I'm going to hit the start button. Right, so now it goes ready, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And here we go. I am now on a run, and it is officially recording. Well, I'm partway through a run, so I'm going to show you what my watch displays, the metrics, as I'm running. Now you can choose the metrics that you want, so I've chosen the ones up to 5 actually. I've chosen the ones that I want to look at. Incidentally, when you're on a run, the watch automatically puts you into do not disturb mode, so if anybody tries phoning you, it'll weed out those calls. I think you can probably turn that off if you're waiting for an emergency call. Anyway, let's have a look at the metrics. Right, so here we go. I don't know how well you can see that. At the top, I've got time for this run, because at the moment, heading up towards 22 minutes. Then, immediately below that, I've got, oh, it's my heart rate. So, it's my heart rate, 151 beats per minute at the moment. Then, below that is my current kilometre time. Below that is my average time for this run, which is quite slow. It's quite a warm day today, so 6:29 I think. And then below that, the distance that I've currently completed, which is just coming up to 3.5 kilometres. And I'm now going to stop talking before I pass it on. Something else it does, as I'm running, it'll ping every time I pass a kilometre, and also when I get halfway. So today it pinged at 2.5k. Note to self, don't record video when you're running up a hill. Okay, so let's have a look at the data that you can examine afterwards, and for that you use Apple's Activity app. Now it's worth pointing out at this stage, although I've used the built-in tracking tools on my watch and in the phone, if you use something like Strava or Nike Run Club or Adidas Running or any of the other apps that are out there, they can feed into the Activity app. So it doesn't matter, you're not tied in to using Apple's own tools, you can use third-party tools, and that'll be the same on whatever your chosen platform is. So let's have a look on here. I'm going to fire up the Activity app, and you will see that today I have done precious little. You've got these rings that Apple are really always banging on about. But if I go back and I can scroll through my history on here, and it will show how well I've done on various days. And if I go right back, I can see there that they whizzed around quite a bit. So that means that I probably on that day did a run or a cycle or something. So if I scroll down here, you can see I had my move goal is set to 400 calories, and I can change that, and I did 531 there. Exercise, again, you can set your own goals. I 30 minutes, I did 37, and stand, and the number of steps, and the distance, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, now this was an outdoor cycle there, 16-kilometer cycle. Let's actually go back and have a look at, now what I can do actually, I've got some tabs down the very bottom here, and if I go to workouts, which is the tab there, it then summarizes everything that I've done. There's that cycle there. And if I go back, there's a 10-kilometer run, and a 5-kilometer run, and so on. Let's go right back here. Now here is my longest one ever, which was a 13-kilometer outdoor run. It's in blue because that's a distance that I'd set myself, as opposed to green, which is an open goal. So if we have a look at all of the data on there, we can see that the total time that I was out on that particular run, 1 hour, nearly 22 minutes, the distance that I covered, calories, all that kind of stuff. And also further down, we've got the heart rate, but also something that I mention quite often in the videos is the splits. So if I tap on splits, and you can see here, that is showing my times that I had for each kilometer on the run. And you can see there that I think I mentioned in the video that I'd actually started off at quite a pace. In fact, I said I thought the first kilometre was 5:45. It's actually 5:40. It was quite quick for me, and all the way down and so on. I did quite well. I'm quite pleased with that run actually, because I did a lot better than I really thought possible. It's all a mind game. It is all a mind game. So that's quite good on there. Then if I go back, you can see all the different outdoor runs and what have you that I've done. On the Apple app as well, there are a lot of apps that do things like this. It can give you awards of things that you've done for your different goals that you've achieved, such as your perfect week and the cycling workout there, move goal, and all of these different things on here. And if you tap on it, it does a nice little kind of animation there, which looks quite cool, I have to say. If that's the sort of thing that motivates you, if that's the sort of thing that makes you want to get out there, great. For me, I'm not, it's nice and pretty, but I'm not that fussed to be honest. But if you're into that kind of stuff, then it's all there for you. And there is in fact a sharing tab where you can share activity with other people, should you wish to do that. Now it's worth also pointing out that what this app does, what the Activity app does, is that not only will it collate all of the data from the workout app or from third-party apps, but it will also feed in then through to a health app, which is built in. So I'm now going to fire up the health app. There it is, health. And what that then does is that it shows the different aspects of the activities that I've carried out, but also you may remember that I've recently been talking about a sleep app. So it's been tracking my sleep, or rather lack of it. And what that does, it will also feed through into this app as well. So when I come down here, you've got all sorts of different things that can feed into this app, the activity, but also, and my heart rate and what have you, but also there's one for sleep. And that will go in and it will tell you my sort of sleep analysis for yesterday, and it'll give all the data and what have you in there. So I can look at the native app for that if I want to, that came with the sleep tracking software, but that feeds through into health. And if I decide to change to a different sleep tracker, it doesn't matter, because all of that data goes into the health app. Same thing applies to activity. If I suddenly decide I'm going to start using Strava, for example, it doesn't matter, because it will all still be collated along with old historic data in the activity app. So you can kind of mix and match and change apps if that's what you want to do. As well as activities and the sleep app, the health app can also collate other pieces of information that may be relevant to you. So if you have a particular piece of equipment that feeds data into your phone, then you can feed that through into the health app that will give you an overall picture of how you're managing whatever life condition that you may particularly be involved with. Now, that's it for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. I'd love to hear from you about what you use. What equipment do you have that you find gives you all the information that you need to help improve your performance when you're out running, exercising, cycling, whatever it may be. Perhaps you use a different ecosystem to me, but even if you're on the Apple ecosystem, you may use different apps that I don't even know about. So please do post your comments below. I would love to get them. I always love reading the comments. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe and hit the notification bell to know when there is more. And I thank you so much for your company. Thanks for watching right to the end. I'll see you in the next video.